The "for sale" sign had been bleached white by the harsh Maine sun, rotting in the overgrown grass of Blackwood Hollow. For Caleb, a city developer from Portland, the isolated 19th-century Victorian was a steal. The house was a quiet, rotting relic of the past, untouched by the modern world and devoid of cell service. He bought it instantly. He spent his first evening sanding the old, splintered floorboards in the foyer. The rhythmic scrape of the tool echoed through the empty house. Outside, the pine trees stood like jagged teeth against the twilight. As the sun dipped entirely below the horizon, the silence in the house became suffocating. Caleb stopped the sander, wiping sweat from his forehead. That was when he heard it scratch. It was faint, coming from the floorboards directly beneath his feet. He frowned, assuming it was a field mouse. Then, the rhythmic scraping grew louder, shifting and morphing into the distinct, heavy sound of someone dragging their fingernails against the underside of the wood. Caleb knelt down, pressing his ear to the cold oak. The scratching abruptly stopped. A breathless, raspy whisper seeped through the cracks. "Caleb." He stumbled backward, his heart hammering against his ribs. It was just an old house settling, he told himself, breathing heavily. He grabbed his flashlight and shone the beam around the dusty, shadowed corners of the room. As the beam swept across the hallway mirror, his blood ran cold. The reflection in the mirror showed the foyer exactly as it was. However, in the dark glass, he was not kneeling alone. A pale, elongated figure with hollow, ink-black eyes was crouched right behind him, its bony, gray hands pressed flat against his shoulders. Paralyzed with terror, Caleb stared into the mirror, unable to blink or scream. The creature's jaw unhinged, letting out a heavy, corrupted exhale against the back of his neck. "We gave you plenty of time to leave," the thing whispered in a chorus of raspy voices. As Caleb watched in absolute horror, the gray hands in the reflection dug their long, jagged nails into his shoulders, pulling him backward into the darkness of the mirror. He felt his physical body shatter as the glass absorbed him, leaving the grand foyer empty once more. The house settled back into a heavy, quiet stillness. In the morning, another bleached, "for sale" sign would be planted in the yard.